welcome back to Fish Hunt Northwest. We're here on location in beautiful Issaquah, Washington at Finn's Bistro with the owner and chef, Jeff Maxfield.
Welcome to Finn.
Yes, we love it here. We've had such a good time this weekend. It's been awesome. Your dinner on Saturday night, awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
What are we going to cook?
We're doing, in celebration of Lowland Lakes opening up, we're going to do rainbow trout today.
Okay.
And so, obviously, trout season's opening up here shortly, and it's a great opportunity to get out there and enjoy these beautiful fish.
Yeah.
We're going to do it today with a little bit of chorizo, some hominy, and roasted over Douglas fir.
Okay.
So
sounds good, but did you say Douglas fir?
I did. Douglas fir, everybody's kind of familiar with cooking over cedar plank and that sort of thing. It's just a little bit different. So you get a little bit of that Christmassy flavor, but it's also, gets some nice little citrus notes to it. And it's great to do in your own kitchen. We do it in a restaurant. It's also great to do when you're camping, celebrating that opening day weekend.
Awesome.
So we're going to go ahead and get started here.
Okay.
I've got 2 cups of chorizo sausage. You can separate this out or exclude this and do Italian sausage.
Pretty much whatever you want.
Anything is game here.
Okay.
So I've got a cast iron skillet warming up. Cast iron skillet is a great opportunity to cook these fish because you can go straight, cook everything right here, the sausage and everything. Remove the sausage, then we're gonna sear the trout in it and finish it in the oven. So it's a one pot dish. Which is great for cleanup. So I've got this pan warming up here.
Did you use some oil in it? Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna hit a little bit of olive oil. This is pure olive oil, and certainly save the extra virgin olive oil for things where you want that olive oil flavor. When you're sautéing with extra virgin olive oil, it's got a lower smoke point, and what happens is when you get that pan nice and hot, it'll burn that oil and actually give you an off-putting taste to it.
Oh, okay.
So pure olive oil, you can use canola.
Canola. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good thing to know. I didn't know that about extra virgin.
Yeah, it's you're spending all that great money on that oil, and it's one of those things you just want to use it for your salad dressings or to finish your dish with it, where you get that olive oil flavor, as opposed to just sautéing with it
and cooking with it. Okay.
We're gonna drain this grease out anyway. So as that sausage is cooking there, we're gonna go ahead and get our green onions cut.
All right.
And I'll just take the ends off, and again, you don't have to be super delicate with any of this stuff. It's all going to get into a stuffing. You essentially just want the flavor of all this.
Okay.
So we'll take our green onion, and I've got the hominy here.
What's hominy?
Hominy is corn that's been either soaked in lye, and there's a process behind it, which helps to kind of swell up like this and gives it a nice earthy, kind of nutty almost flavor.
Yeah.
It's real popular in Latin cuisine. Pozole, the soup or the stew, is made with this. Works really great for trout. It's also, people love having trout for breakfast. It's a great opportunity to
trout for breakfast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hominy. I grew up having hominy for breakfast, so we're going to use that right in the same dish.
Okay, sounds good.
So I've got the green onion going there. We're going to add jalapeno. I've got 1 jalapeno that's been de-seeded. If you like it spicy, leave the seeds in. No big deal.
Yeah.
If you don't like spice at all, you can omit it completely and go from there.
Okay.
So we want to cook this sausage about 3/4 of the way because it's going to continue to cook in the oven inside that trout.
So brown it really good.
Yeah.
Smells delicious.
You kind of want to break it up a little bit. All right, and we're going to add our hominy right in there.
All right.
And the nice thing about hominy, and it comes in a can at the grocery store.
Yeah, I was going to say you can get that pretty much everywhere.
Yep. And with most canned vegetables and things that I buy, I typically rinse them anyway. Once they're done, I drain all the juice out of it and then rinse them with fresh water, and it just kind of takes away that canned little flavor.
So is that about 1 can that you put in there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And the recipe calls for 2 cups, but you can, if you wanted to add something else to this, and say you just want to add fresh corn. Fresh corn works too.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to turn that off, and we'll get our mixing bowl here.
All right.
And we're going to just transfer that. There's not a whole lot of oil that comes out of this, but you can just tilt your pan, and you're going to kind of let that oil come to the bottom.
Okay.
And then we'll just transfer it right to the bowl.
All right.
And it's, you know, it already smells great.
And you'll just stuff that, and then you'll transfer it right back onto the hot pan.
Yeah. And
okay.
so the nice thing about cast iron is it does hold its heat. So we're going to leave it on the stove turned off, and it's going to probably still be warm when we get ready to put the fish back in. So I'm going to add the green onion right to it.
Okay.
And I've got a little bit of fresh thyme. And this is just like rosemary, and I just pull off
just pull it off.
Pull it off. And, you know, most of the time the big stems come off. If you've got a couple big ones in there, just run your knife over it a couple times. And this is, you know, the fresh stuff for this recipe works really well. You can use dried. If you're using dried thyme, use less of it because once it starts to kind of reconstitute, it's going to put out a stronger flavor.
Oh.
So I've got just a single lime. Zester, you can use the back of a cheese grater. A lot of times that part of the cheese grater that nobody ever uses, that real fine little
Oh, that's
holes,
what it's for?
These work perfectly.
Okay.
Microplanes, you can find them at a hardware store. You can find them at a kitchen store.
Okay.
I'm using just a normal little zester here, and we're just going to zest that lime right in. And what that does is all of those little essential oils in that skin, it's, you know, every time I zest a lime, I think of margaritas. I don't know why. And then we're going to juice that lime right in there. And this is, you know, I'm kind of sticking with the Southwest kind of feel here, so we're going to put a little bit of fresh cilantro in here as well.
Oh, good.
All right, so I've got that here. And the nice thing about cilantro is the stems are edible. You know, it's not one of those things where, you know, the stem is something that's off-putting. I just take the big pieces and just discard those, but the rest of it, just chop it up.
Just put right in there. Yeah.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be anything too fancy.
No.
And we'll just toss that up all together and make sure everything's nice and incorporated. I always like to taste, you know, especially stuffings, I like to taste them before it's going inside of anything, just because, you know, once it's in, you can't really fix it, right?
Can't take it out if you've seasoned it before.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times sausage is you know, already been seasoned well. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt.
Okay.
All right. Now we're ready to stuff the trout. Now these have been, I boned these out completely, which is a great way with trout because they're, you know, these are
everybody complains about the little trout bones.
A lot of bones, right? And especially when you're stuffing them, you know, it'd be nice to be able to have that trout where you don't have to eat the stuffing or pull the stuffing out before you start eating it.
Right.
This is a great way where now we're going to roast it whole, and you can, you know, with that crispy skin, you can go straight from there. So I'm going to use a little bit of my special house seasoning.
Is that your very own special house seasoning?
Yeah,
Finn's Bistro?
Finn's Bistro seasoning. So we use this on all of our steaks, fish, even our French fries. So
wow.
Just a light seasoning because this is already seasoned as well. What that does is just going to help kind of bring that flavor all the way through the fish. So we're going to put that right down the center.
It's amazing.
When we're stuffing things, I like it to, you know, kind of get back to the same shape as it originally was.
Okay. So you don't want to overstuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you were going to do this ahead of time, and you wanted to, you know, do this a day early, or, you know, do it in the morning before dinner, and, you know, and be ready to go, make sure your stuffing's cool before you put it inside the fish, because you know, you don't want it to sit there in a temperature that might not be safe.
Exactly.
So we'll fire that burner back up.
Okay.
And we've got our Douglas fir. So these are literally harvested out of a tree out back. And so you want to grab
you can just go to any backyard.
Any backyard, maybe your neighbor's yard, I don't know. But you'll want to, you know, cut the very end parts of the Douglas fir because the fronds are a lot more delicate.
Okay.
So you're not, cutting a big branch off because that's just going to get bitter, and you'll start kind of getting that almost rancid flavor. So these end tips are nice and delicate. They have a lot of essential oils in them. Which
will lay nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Under it, yeah.
And so now we can see that's warming back up a little bit.
Okay.
I think we're hearing some popcorn going on.
Yes, we are.
All right. So a little bit more oil, and we're going to add our fronds right to it. And this is the delicate part.
You're making popcorn too?
Over here, yeah. Good sound effect. All right, so we're going to lay this trout right on top. Any of this extra filling, pop it right in.
Okay.
All right.